Now then, and welcome back to another episode of Forever Stranded. Stranded with Nemsun once again. How you doing? Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Right, so that's the intro done. How you doing? All good. What was I standing on? This was a setup that I've had running overnight since the last episode. So 2 days, 1 night over since the last episode, and I've just been setting up this little section over here, ready for today's episode, right? I'll show you all about these things in a little bit. That's what we're going to be doing in today's episode. But I wanted to first start by a little magic trick. There's a circular saw on this table, and I'm going to walk across it without dying. Look at me. Aren't I just like super magician? Okay, it doesn't look like it's actually moving, does it? I tell you it's on. But anyway, I just like the look of it. I like the look of the big nasty blade. This was the thing that we were working up to in the previous episode, the cutting machine, to be able to complete the quest that we would need to cut a buoy into silicon wafer, or was it that one that we needed to cut a silicon buoy? A buoy. I still don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. A buoy. But this can be converted into those, and those can be converted into something else. I think it was those two together. One of those and one of those in there. No, Crystallizer. The Crystallizer is this thing. Yeah, Crystallizer. Okay. And one of those in there and one of those in there. Why? Okay. I'm completely lost. I thought I knew what I was doing here. Okay, so let's try looking at things a little bit more simpler. Bool. Let's have a look. How do we make it? We put that and that in a crystallizer. Okay, so isn't that what I just did? This crystallizer over here. There's no machine like recipe or anything here. There's an input hatch where I'm going to try and put those. I can't. Can I click on it any other way? Oh, really? Oh, really? What have I done wrong? Are these the right silicon? Yeah. So, in a crystallizer, I place a silicon ingot and a silicon nugget, and it does something and makes one of these bool. So, we'd have... okay, wait a minute. That is an output hatch, but on my NEI, or on my Walia, it says input hatch. This is an input hatch, but in it says input hatch. The arrows should be a dead giveaway, shouldn't they? Yes. Okay, facepalm all you want, people. Facepalm all you want. Leave it all down below in the comments. Whatever. Right, on it goes. It does some power. Oh, look at that. It's making stuff happen. That's cool. I like it. And then it makes a buoy. Okay, how many of those did we need for the thing? 4. Okay, so if I put... Oh, I didn't quite want to do all of those, but we'll put another 2 in. We'll see how that goes. Yeah, it's quite quick, and I do like the graphical animations. I like the graphics for these, and I like the modelling. There's a little bit more modelling to be done around the sides by the looks of it. This one, and this one look really cool in the modelling. Like it's almost pretty much completed the modelling. These ones, this top section is pretty cool looking. And of course, having this flat section on top is very cool looking. They are doing amazing things. When they've got it all set up like this, it's still a fairly new mod, really. When they've got it all set up like that, then we'll be super fantastic stuff going on. Alright, that's that. Crafting task completed. There we go, good. So that's all of that done. So I can now claim the reward for that lot. Okay, and then we move on to this. So now we need to make one of this silicon wafer. Okay, quest updated, crystallizer, yes. So now we need a silicon wafer. Now I've already got 3 from somewhere. I think I picked them up from the city. Why is that not... Oh, it's because it's a wafer with an 1F, not a wafer with 2 Fs. So I put one of those into there to make 4 of those, okay? And the quest requires me to have 4. I've already got 2. Let's look at the arrows this time, Nemsun. Look at the arrows this time. Let's put that in there. Oh, no. Wrong way around. That in there. Okay. And it's chopping it. But it's chopping it. It's already the wafer. And then it's chopping it some more. Shouldn't it be the other thing? Shouldn't it be that the buoy, I'm glad when I stopped saying this word. The boule should go across there, shouldn't it? And then it should output as the wafer. I suppose that's just a very difficult thing to do, programming-wise, to program your mod to cut the boule into the wafer. So the wafer just travels across instead. It's still good to have the animations. It's still great that they're doing stuff like this. I'm really, really pleased with the mod in general. We haven't even got past the making the machinery yet, but still, I'm really pleased with it. I like it. And I've been hearing some wonderful things in chat rooms, and I'm trying to avoid knowing too much about it to start off with, right? Because I want to learn it here in my Forever Stranded playthrough. So let's claim those. Right, there we go. And next up, we will launch. Ships will require fuel and a launch area. Launch platform, fueling station, unmanned vehicle assembler. Oh wow. That all looks awesome as well. That all sounds cool. And then launch to a new home. Ooh, so that is moving worlds. Okay, well, we'll do that. But I will do that in another episode. I'm not going to do that in today's episode. Today's episode, I want to do some more like fundamental bits and pieces to my factory to keep making materials for me to progress, because I keep coming up to the point where I just don't have enough of something, and I end up having to set up something like this. Let's just quickly check these loot crates. What? And oh, my days, those were the worst. The worst ever. The worst ever. I'm going to throw that away again now. Alright, so first up, what have I got going on here? And then I'm going to dismantle it bit by bit and move things around a bit. Okay, so this is going to be where it is now. Okay, it's a sieve. It's a sieve that is sieving dust. So similar to how we've been doing it all before, there are a few different materials that we sieve generally to make more materials out of. There's gravel, and there's sand, and there's dust. So this section here is going to make the gravel, sand, and dust, and then we're going to pass it up here through the piping into the AE system. The AE system's then going to have one of its sides and the channels coming out this way to create this. 3 of these, I should think, coming down here. Yeah, 3 of these coming down here. Let's see if I've got 3. Do I have more sieves? I think I've been using them up quite rapidly. Yeah, I can't use it yet. And I did have this linked in so that we could do, like, there's a search box auto search, and there's a standard search, and then there's a JEI synchronized auto. So whenever I type something into JEI, it will also, it will go in there and come down here at the same time. But I was finding with a few recipes that I was trying to work on a recipe up here, and I needed just to search for a component in here, and it would lose the whole recipe up here. So I've taken it back to it's like a standard search where I click on it and I type sieve to find out if it's got any sieves in there, and this still stays the same. This still is a manual thing on here as well, right? So it doesn't affect each other, so I can find parts and bits. It's just my personal preference, but as you can see, there are a few different options using this little search box mode that make a big difference to how you play the game, which is encouraging, yes? Auto sieves. Let's make a few more. Auto heavy sieve. I don't think I want to auto heavy sieve. I know the heavy sieve is better than the standard sieve. I know that, but I don't really want to do that style of things. Let's get, what was it? We're going to need 4 of them to make 2 of them. Let's see. I did have another wooden sieve in there somewhere. I thought I had another wooden sieve in there. Spruce sieve. Okay, so what have we got? We've got some oak. Let's go like that. Was it like that? It's like that. There we go. An oak sieve. Okay. Let's throw them back away and then make another one of these. So I wanted 2 more. So we've got 2 sieves. Okay. So the first sieve, the second sieve, and the third sieve, we've got it all set up here. Let me just do it this way around. Boom. And if you want your in-game character thing to come in here, if you want to be one of these in here, then we will make name tags and name tag them. So if you let me know in the comments down below what in-game name you've got for your skin, then I can put the skins in here. At the minute we've got Blay09, 0 underscore, and Dustine. Obviously something to do with the people who made the mod. Either patrons of the people who made the mod, or people who made the mods, or just friends and family or whatever, that kind of thing. But I would like to have you guys as my workers in the factory. How about that? Would you like that? Would you like to be one of these? There's another couple down here as well, which I'm going to be going into a little later on. Alright, so then this is going on here, right? We're going to have an import bus. The import is to import into the AE system, not import or input into the Sieve itself. So I'm going to need 2 more import buses. Now I have been making import, not import. I have been making some bits and pieces around over here to make this process a bit quicker. You see, I've got no parts here. These logic processors take a while to produce, and these cores and that, I use quite a lot of them, so I'm going to make a few cores there, and then we'll make 1 sticky piston. Yes, we can, quite quickly as well. Good. And then we've got another import bus. I need another one of those. There we go. And then another one of those. There we go. Alright, so I've got 2 import buses. The import buses are going to go on the side facing into the AE system over here, and I will connect those up with cables in just a bit, right? The next thing that we've got here is an export bus. The export bus is set to take things out of the system, so export them into the thing. So an export bus would go into an input slot. So it would input into the input slot. So on machines where there's certain input slots, like on this thing here, or all those things down there where I've just confused my inputs and my outputs, this thing here has, it's 6 sides, isn't it? It's a 6-sided cube. One of the sides is for the graphical front, and all 5 other sides have some quality. So there's slots in here, right? The bottom side of the inscriber is the input for an item to go into here. The top side of the inscriber is the input to go into here. The back side of the inscriber is the input slot to go into here. The right hand side of the inscriber is the output that takes things out of here. And then you've got this side, which doesn't do anything in the inscriber apart from accept the power, because these export buses and import buses do not connect to the device to give it power, so you need one side for that as well. I think you can maybe do the front for the power as well, but all you do then is just use the export bus. You've got 1 slot, so I could just say I'm going to export wooden planks into this. It won't do it because there's no potential recipe for it, but you know what the recipes are in here, and then you export into those different sections. So you just line it up and tell it what it was. So that was me making a load of bits and pieces in here earlier. I used the press. Where's the press? I used the press and the item so that it was inputting the item into the right place through this back export bus. To do this over and over again for a little while to get things crafted up, so I'd have some things ready for you today. And then we're going to go with the export buses. That's the next thing, isn't it? So we've got import, we're going to have export, so that we can put a certain thing into each. And it looks like we've got some things missing there. Export, yeah, we don't have anything in there. Okay, so export bus, we need to make some of these formation cores. And it was just a batch of these logic processors and stuff that I needed to do. I can't remember how many I actually did. I did like half a stack. Yeah, I've got 29 logic processors left. I made 36 of those printed circuits ready for some other stuff as well. And yeah, I seem to be using things up quite quickly. There's 11 more in there. Yeah, so I've just made a little bit of batch to get this so we could do some more work really quickly today. And instead of me waffling on about it, which I seem to be doing anyway, regardless. So we're going to have this over here, yeah. Input into there, or export from here into there. Now, the big thing here to consider, the biggest consideration that you've got to start having, is that AE has now channels going on. If we look at the different kinds of cable, can I cable up these things? Yeah, I've got some cable here. We've got some dense cable. We've got some more dense cable. Actually, I don't need more dense cable. We've got some smart cable, and we've got some covered cable, right? And in applied energistics cables, they're made quite simply, right? The basic glass cable is some of this quartz fiber with some fluix crystals. Now these fluix crystals of this type, the side-on type, are quick and easy to make as long as you throw quartz, redstone and applied energistics crystals into water together. They turn quickly into flux crystals. Then the quartz fiber itself is just some Certis quartz dust, which we get from Sieve, and some glass. Hence why I've got the glass production in full force at the minute to do that. So that's how we make the basic glass cable. We can also dye them to different colours so they don't attach against each other, which is also very, very useful, very handy. But then you can also put a cable, that one, a covered cable, put wool on them, right? Put wool on them and they become covered. This helps with FPS, because having all of these coloured cables and stuff, they have a little tiny, I don't know if you can tell, they have a little graphical thing going on every now and again where they see a little thing move across and down and into them. They have a little pulse. Or at least that was the theory. That was what used to it. I haven't actually noticed anything while I've had this set up in here today. Well, the last few days I haven't really noticed anything. So maybe that's a thing of the past. But regardless of that, you make the covered cables with wool and one of the normal cables. You can also take the dye off a cable by putting it next to a bucket of water to make it clean. And then we move up to these smart cables. Smart cables have a little like strip inside them that show you how many channels are being used in that cable. Redstone and glowstone to show you what that is capable of. And then you've got the dense cable, which is 4 covered cables and the 2 together to make a larger cable. Now the larger cables have more channels. That's as simple as it is. There's the ability for each side of these controllers to take on, I think it's 32 per side, right? And one of these dense cables is 32 channels. Let me see if I can spread it out a little bit further for you. One of these is 32 channels. Now I can't see these channels anymore. I thought we used to be able to see in Walia what was there. We used to be able to see in Walia, but Walia's changed, versions have changed, so it's probably not doing it anymore. It used to be that they would do it, so it was pretty cool. But now you've got to kind of do it visually, right? So you see that there's nothing marked on this one. If we take this off here, right, and we do the same couple of bits on here, we will see how many channels that is connecting to the AE system. There we go. So we've got 1 channel there, which means that there are 2 devices on it. Yeah, these 2 devices. So if I was to get rid of this device, like so, which I have just broken, then this amount should go down. It doesn't seem to have done so. But if I put it back on, does it come back on? Maybe it's a... I thought I knew what this was all about. Maybe I've got something wrong here. Right, let's do that. I wanted to break these anyway because I need to change all of this cable out. Right. So there's that. And then we're going to put this... Let's put smart cable on here so we can see better here. Right. Smart cable. That should also tell us how many things are on it in the same way. Look, it highlights, yeah. But this is 8 channels and this is 32 channels worth. So that'll be it. The 8 channels we'll see first how many we get, and the 32 channels we won't see until we've gone up like 8 channels or whatever, right? So we'll come across here with some cables anyway, and we'll connect these up to import. Now, when they first get connected, they're light blue like this, right? And then they go dark blue if they are actually connected to the network, yeah? So they start off with nothing, then they go light blue if they're not currently connected, and then they become dark blue when they are connected, so you can see. And then here, look, we've got 1, 2, 3 lines, which are 1, 2, 3 devices connected on the cable of 8 potential, right? and this is still showing just 1, right? So let's connect these ones up as well. We'll connect there, there, and there, and you should be able to see that the connector is still showing black. It's not even remotely connected to the system. But as soon as I connect it over here, you'll see that they all go light blue, and then they'll all change to dark blue when they're actually connected. And you can see there's 3 channels coming from that side there, and 3 channels from this side here makes a total of 6 channels here. So we've got 3 on this section, and now you can see that we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 dark blue lines, 5, 6 if you include the bright lines as well, leaving us 2 more. So 6, 7, 8. 8 channels on this cable. But we're still only just touching the surface of how many's on this big fat cable, right? So this cable can come from one side, yeah, 32 channels, and then you've got 4 of these cables can come off it. It doesn't all have to come off it in one place. It doesn't have to do it like that, but still, it's about the right sort of scenario. That's one reason why I limited myself to 8 things along here, so that when I come in here and do this today, I could then change this around a little bit. I was just deciding to just do the blanks, and it doesn't matter how you mix these up either. I can mix the cables however I want, right? Let's do that and that just to show. So that's still connecting them all up. They should all still go blue, yeah. And what happens if you put something else on at some point that would cause it to take up a channel is that the far end of it would go into the light blue and not be physically connected to the system. So it connect to the first 8 channels, or the first 8 devices, or the first 8 processes that it can do. It will then forget everything after that in the network. Yeah, it can only do the first 8. So it's important to look at channels from now on, right? As we're working through the applied energistic side of things. So I'll quickly, I threw that away, didn't I? I'll quickly change this up and move that around a little bit to go up there and finish connecting that. So I've made a few modifications then. So it's now all hooked up with covered cable to save on FPS in case that's still a thing. It doesn't look like it is a thing anymore, but still, I've done it anyway. And then I'm starting to think where my cables are going to actually hook to things, because it's got to feel right for the cables to actually hook to some of these beams and stuff, hasn't it? So where, oh where does it go to? I was considering running a cable underneath this side here, so it comes up and hooks where that torch is to a cable that runs through here. But I'm not doing that just yet. I don't know if I need to do it along there all the way, maybe so that it goes round this side. Or maybe I'll bring it along there and then bring it down this side and then go to these different devices. We'll work on that later on. Today I just want to discuss the basics of the channels so you can see what I'm doing, and then I can just get on and do some more of it while the place is being productive. So at the moment we've got 3 sieves, 1 for each of the items, and 3 inputs for the inputs from the sieves. Easy enough to figure out, yes? There is a few other bits and pieces to do for the inputs for those, but that's then only 6 channels leading into one side, which can maintain 36 channels, right? And then on the other side we've got this. We've got 8 channels coming in from the production over there. Now I moved all of my crafting and storage over here, right? So all my crafting and storage is now over here out the way. I will see if I've got any 1K drives. Yeah, I've got a 1K drive. I'll do that for now. I think it's blank. I hope it's empty. Yeah, it's empty. Okay, I'll put a 1K drive in here for now. I will upgrade that. But as you can see from here, without the drive, let me just show you without the drive first. Without the drive, we have the 8 different things that or the 8 channels leading over to the storage buses over in the cobblestone generation, sand, glass, gravel generation setup, where the dust comes in. So all of those materials are now available in the terminal here. Right? Nice and simple. And that terminal is taking a single channel off that side of the controller. Right? I don't think the disk drive does. I'll put the disk drive in there though, just so that when we put stuff into here, it will actually get working that way. Next up, right, we've got these furnaces. These are kind of like the end result, aren't they? So everything that I want to furnace power, I've got it on top of a 90 million RF capacitor bank, So that should last a while, even if I turn my reactor off from down here. It should refill the 90 million fairly quickly when I come back online to restock and supply these lot. So I can turn it all off by just not putting power into here, but it'll last for 90 million, which means it should get through quite a bit of stuff, shouldn't it? Right? And then we've got an issue here because I've got 5. I could limit it to 4 and then we would have 8 channels perfectly, but I kind of want to get through as much of this as possible. So I want to show you something, right? So there's 5 devices on there and 5 devices on the top, which would be 10 channels, which is too much. Okay, so I can't hook this up to here and then across here like this. Well, I can hook it up like this if I had enough stuff. Let's put a smart cable there, actually. We can see then. And I'm one short, typical. One short I didn't bring with me. And I'm super fast at the minute. I can't move around slowly, sorry. Cable. I wanted some more of this stuff. Let's get some more of that. Let's get another. Did I just have one bit of wool left? Really? Maybe I did. It might have been my last piece of wool. I did make loads early before the episode. By now, though, we should be getting some more string and cotton coming in from the farm, so I should be okay to make some more in a minute. But just for this one, let's just do that there. Okay, so now we can see that this will turn into 8 channels. Fully lit. Ping. Come on, show me. 8 channels. It's actually showing the first one there and all of these down here. 1, 2, 3, 4 channels there. It's got 4 channels in this section here, so that's why this has got 4. Then this will be a 5th, that might even be the 6th, and then this whole side here, this whole section of this would be a 7 and 8. So it might be that that's 7 and 8, 7 and 8 there, like that. So we're only seeing actually 4 things coming this way, and they're the ones that are in the dark blue here. 1, 2, 3, doesn't get that far. 5, 3, 4, 4. Counting with Nemsun is really bad today. 4 of these things, okay? And then those 4 are not, and those are not. So we've got a problem because we haven't got enough channels available on this side of the controller. Now we can simply just make another controller, right? We could just put another controller on. That's one way of dealing with it. Controller. Did I even have a controller already? No, I don't. So let's have another controller quickly. And you are there. Thank you. We'll have another controller quickly. And that could be a way around it, right? We just go and pop that section off there and put another controller on there. And then there's 2 controllers. Oh no, there's 2 controllers. It can't work with 2 controllers. No, it can't work with 2 controllers that are opposite from each other, but it can work with 2 controllers that are next to each other, right, or connected to each other. See, so there's a good thing to remember. You can have another like 36 channel outputs on that side and on that side, but it's not going to work here until I've done like a mainframe design around it. So what I can do here is, let's take that off there. We can put the larger dense cable on here, right, and the dense cable will then connect 36 channels. Oh, wait a minute. I've got to take this off as well, haven't I? Because that doesn't connect directly. Then that goes on there. Yeah. And then that goes on there the wrong way around. Yes. So we've got to do it this way around. So we go there and there. That might actually be too close again. Let's go with one more dense cable just there. Right. That's now connected up. And because this is doing 36 channels, it should be able to do everything down here. Right. It's doing everything down here. And it's doing those 3 there, but because we can only do 8 off this, that's 8, we're still short 2, which is another annoyance, you see. So you have to keep going backwards and forwards doing this sort of stuff until you've got yourself a proper setup. But the only way I can think of to change this around is to go with a big fat cable here. So we get 36 channels coming all the way over here. Then we make one other section of it go to the top, and one section of it go to the bottom. But then you've got this connection here that you don't want, right? So there's another problem. which we can also rectify. Lots of wiring issues, which we're covering in today's episode, so that I don't have to go over it with you, over everything that I'm doing. We get these, I think they're cable ties, or cable joiners, these cable anchors, there we go. And it's just simply a bit of metal cut by a cutting knife. See what we've got, let's get 3, 6, right? These cable anchors stop two cables joining. Of course, you could make them different colours as well. I could make that purple colour, and I could make that green colour, in which case they wouldn't connect. But I can also just put that one little block there, and then I can connect these together without that cable joining. Which means now, from this, I'm using 2 sets of 8 channels, or 2 sets of 5 channels. I've got 5 channels across the top there, 5 channels across the bottom here, all lit up. So there's 10 channels going into this cable. This cable can support 36 channels, not just 8 channels. And this side of the controller can support 36 channels as well. So it's all good and all working and all great. Now they're the basics, okay? I'm actually going to change the center part of this anyway. But that is it for now, at least, okay? Quickly, I want to show you, I might make this episode a little bit longer, but quickly I want to show you a basic, what I'm doing with the crafting. So here, I want to insert iron meshes and gravel, okay? I want to insert 2 things. So for that, I need to use a capacity card in here. The capacity card means that I've got 4 slots available to use, right? So I can put in that I want to use mesh and dust, like you saw before, and the input doesn't make any difference. It'll just do as everything that goes into the output slot in here, okay? So that iron mesh stuff will go in there all the time, and I can put that in. So we've got dust and mesh. Let's get some dust and some mesh. Well, I want a fresh mesh really, and get an iron mesh. And I want it to take dust as well, which is in the other system now. So this system now has the dust in it that I want to utilize. Let's put that onto there. We should still be able to read everything in the system. Yes, we can. Okay, and put that onto there like that. So that goes mesh and dust. Okay, mesh and dust. So this will now keep trying to put dust in there, you see. It'll keep trying to put dust in there at all times, so it'll start meshing the dust and sieving the dust, and everything else will go into this system. Now we should start seeing the things that dust produce going into this system, being stored into this storage drive, separate from the rest of the system. So everything here is being produced from the cobblestone generators of this side of the factory, which I think is going to look really cool, how much stuff I can actually produce from here. But then I want to craft them. Okay, so we get patterns for crafting, and we put the crafting patterns in here. Let's see, does that show me? There we go, different ones. So these are the crafting patterns, right? It's basically saying that 4 powdered copper and how to craft them are the pattern for it, which we've done in pattern terminals before. And this will know that when I want one of these kind of ores created, it will use this interface and insert those items into this molecular assembler. And this molecular assembler's got a 1K crafting storage. They don't have to be next to each other, these things. They just are in this case. These two need to be next to each other because it needs to know which inventory it's next to put the crafting recipe into to make it craft. Okay? So it does that. And then over this side, I'll be able to tell it what dust I want. So let's see, do I have dust in here? I have no dust right now. Iron powder. Do I have more iron powder in here now? Yeah, I've got the crafting here. So let's craft one of those. Yeah, it will automatically use that startup, and we'll take this. Okay. Now we're moving into these bits. Okay. In here, I could just say export iron dust, or I could improve the capacity of it, right, to put iron dust and a few other things. So it'll always try and smelt iron dust plus 3, 4 other things, and it will keep making it and putting it into there to cook it as and when. That just went in there, and it graphically glitched. Yeah, that goes into there, crafts the iron ingot, and then the iron ingot should end up in the system here. Yep, there we go, look. But why doesn't it automatically do that all the time? Well, it needs a crafting card for that. The crafting card means that we can add that in there, put that onto that, and it will show us that the crafting behavior is use stocked items. You see, this wasn't there a minute ago. Yeah, it's there when you put this in. Use stocked items or craft items while exporting. So then I tell it I want it to either find stock of iron ore or create iron ore. And if it knows how to create iron ore, which it does over here, it will craft the iron ore and then export it into the redstone furnace. So every time I get 4 pieces of powdered iron, like we have now, look, it should try and put that powdered iron into the furnace. There you go, it just disappeared. Now it's down to 1 powdered iron again. Yeah. So now that furnace should have done a cook. It's just, well, it's lit up. It's just done something. And we should have other iron ingot in there. Like we've got 2 iron ingots. So it works like so. Yeah. All I need to do now is just tidy it up and make it look nicer from the side here. We've got 2 equal sides. We've got a side that does cooking and a side that does processing. I might not need all 5. I might just do 3 so it's even symmetricals. I've got 3 sieves on this side and 3 furnaces on that side, and then I don't need so many worries about channels. I was just doing this to show you. We can have a better crafting system, and we can have a better controller system and a better storage system in here. How I link this up to other parts of the factory, I'm afraid you're going to have to wait until our next episode. So until next episode then, folks, thank you very, very much for watching today. I will see you in the next Forever Stranded very soon. Goodbye.